Hello, everyone. My name is Huong Nguyen, and thank you for being here today with me. My presentation is titled A Journey in Developing a Professional Teaching Identity. This presentation was developed as a part of my teacher training at Hogeschool Utrecht PPA model. Um, this is the table content for my presentation. Firstly, I share the infographic made at the school where I did my internship. Then I will start a retrospective, followed by reflection, then the conclusion, and finally the references I use for this presentation. Well, first of all, this is the infographic I made for Habio Academy. There are five pillars regarding the content I made for the school, which are identity, vision, policy, core principles, and culture. And in which pillar every key information was added. And if you find it interesting, take, please take a time to have a look at it. And if you may have questions, I'm ready to answer. Okay, regarding my backgrounds and beliefs, I grew up in a family that placed a strong emphasis on education and the value of hard work. In my early schooling, respect for teachers and discipline were highly prioritized, but the learning approach was mostly teacher centered. Later, during my teacher training, I was introduced to learner centered methods. These approaches deeply fascinate me and have since become the foundation of my teaching philosophy. Well, as a teacher, I believe the role of the teachers goes far beyond the function of just delivering the lesson, but as an educator. A teacher should be a guide, a listener, a supporter. A guide in a way that the teacher should help students navigate their learning journey. A listener who genuinely listen and hear the student voices, and a supporter encourage the growth and confidence of the student. And ultimately, teaching is about creating a space where students feel safe, motivated, and included. One key moment in my professional development was the pedagogical practice work. Uh, this activity encouraged me to reflect deeply on what kind of teachers I want to become, and through that process, I identified the key core values, which are firstly to create a safe space for all students, and secondly, respect every choice and perspective in the classroom, and thus to be flexible while still remaining clear boundaries to ensure structure and trust. Tools that I use. I began lessons with connection activities to build trust and community. We made class agreements together, giving students ownership and clear expectation. Also, I focus more positive, helpful feedback to boost their confidence and motivation. Internship experience. What did I exactly do in terms of teaching during my internship? Well, after 8-week course, student was given a task, an essay task, to write about the plan to develop their English skills in applied psychology field. I supported students with their final essays requirements. I clearly explained the content and formatting expectation, and I adjusted my explanation to fit each student's needs. And through this, in return, I developed my communication and guidance skills. Well, I use STAR model to reflect my words. First of all, I should understand the situation. During my internship, I worked with students who were completing a final essay at the end of an 8-week English course. Secondly, the task. My task was support students by guiding them through the essay requirements, including both content and formatting, and to ensure they clearly understood what was expected. Then I come up with an action. I clearly explain the essay's purpose, structures, and format. I offer one-on-one help and answer questions. When I saw some students struggling, I use visual aids and step-by-step examples to better support their learning. And here is the results. Most students met the essay requirements with confidence, and question drops as they gain clarity. Adjusting my approach really helped them stay engaged and better understand the formatting. Last but not least, the reflection. This experience helped me better clearly explaining the academic expectation and adapt to the students' needs. Sorry. I also saw how important flexibility and personalized support are for the students' success. In terms of social media and professionalism, one important insight that I gained during my practice is how social media plays an important role in life and it reflects who I am professionally. I've learned to stay professional and think critically about what I share, and it's important to set a clear boundaries between the personal and work life. And I also starting to use platform to share resources and connect with each other. Learning questions. Yeah. Well, one critical learning question is how can I consistently provide clear structure and meaningful feedback without being over dominant or demotivating? As mentioned earlier, one role of an educator is a listener, and listening can be done through the ears but also with the heart. Empathy really matters. It helps us connect with the students and giving them voice boosts the engagement and builds the community. Encouraging word goes a long way to building confidence by focusing on effort and progress. And when the students have set the rules, they take ownership, which leads to more respect and cooperation. My professional identity. Teaching is more than just sharing knowledge now. It's about guiding, listening, and being there for students. I also learn how important it is to adapt, stay flexible, and support a diverse, motivated classroom. And continue with that, I conclude that okay, teaching is just not about giving information anymore. It's about guiding, listening, and supporting students as they learn. And I also realize the big challenges embracing the diversity, keeping students engaged, and staying flexible in how I teach. Moving forward, my next learning question is how can I keep or give feedback in a way that I continuously motivate students to grow and to develop, or at least I don't demotivate them. These are references I use for this task, and if you might have any question, I'm happy to try to answer them. For now, thank you for your attention. Bye.